This is the one way you can know that you make it, right? It's the fact that you think about making it every single day. The fact that you're watching this video is a sign that you're going to make it, right? The sign that, you go ahead and you dream about it every single day and every waking moment. It's all you think about, right? It's all you want to go ahead and do. You can't stop yourself but think about the future and what you want to achieve is a sign that you're going to make it. And I want to explain to you why. Right, 2 years ago when I was in construction, when I had that realization that I'm not where I wanted to be in life, I couldn't help but think about the future that I wanted every single day. I couldn't help but think about the independence. I couldn't help but think about the skill. I couldn't help but think about the money I could make. I couldn't help but think about the connections I would have. I couldn't help but think about the relationships I would have. Right? Every single day, waking up in the morning, middle of the day, when I hated life the most, the one thing that would come to me is this. And I would self-sabotage, don't get me wrong. Right? I'm not going to sit here and say that 2 years ago I changed my life in a snap of a fingers. I didn't. But the fact that I was thinking about it, right, is the one and only reason that I'm actually here today. Right? The life that I was thinking about having 2 years ago is the life that I have right now. Right? And the life that I think about right now is the life I'm going to have in the future. And the reason why is because when you think about something so much, this is the one effect that I've noticed that it has. And this is why, Napoleon Hill says, if whatever you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. The main reason why is because if you think about something so often, if you have that burning desire, if you have nothing but the will to go ahead and make something happen, you might sleep in, you might eat unhealthy, right? You might not do the work, you might procrastinate, you might put it off, you might come up with excuses, but end of the day, it all comes back to you, right? Every single time it comes back to you, and one day what happens, right? Even if you slipped up once, even if you slipped up twice, 3 or 4 or 5 times, one day you don't. What happens on that day that you don't, and you see some kind of result, right? You tell yourself in that moment subconsciously that there is a way out, right? And you keep thinking about it and you keep doing it. And eventually, one day you're at that party, right? One day you're sleeping in, and knowing that you are getting yourself further away from your goals hurts so bad. Right? Being at that party and knowing that it is the very last place that you should be hurts so bad that one day, that discomfort of being in the exact same spot is so great that it drives you to make a change and to take action. You see, one day you're going to wake up after you slept until 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. And the feeling is going to be so awful knowing you just destroyed the rest of the entire day because you slept in. That one day you're going to wake up and it's going to be 7 a.m. and you're going to see the alarm clock going. And the pain will be so great that you're not going to hit snooze. You see, I don't want to sit here and say that I know exactly what your life will look like, but I know that's what happened for me. I'd snooze, I'd go out, I'd waste my money, I'd procrastinate, I'd watch YouTube. I'd do everything but what I needed to do. But one day, I had the desire to read a book. One day I had a desire to watch that video and take notes. One day I had the desire to begin posting. One day I had a desire to join a coaching program, to invest in myself. Right? And one day these little tiny actions had the biggest domino effects that you could ever imagine. You see, one day I'm sure that I'm going to look back either in a villa or in my dream car, right? My family, my wife, everything around me, and know that, reading a few of those books and having the thoughts that I had initially, right, about a greater future, of a better life, were the reason that I am where I am today. What I want to remind you is that nothing comes fast, nothing comes quickly, nothing comes instantly. If you planted an apple tree, right, suppose that you have a seed and you're going to plant it. It'd be ludicrous to plant it, to cover it with soil, to water it, and to sit there and tap your foot and expect it to grow right away. You see, you could do everything you can in your entire power. The sun could shine, it can get water, the soil could be perfect, it could be the best seed in the world, but when it comes to nature and reality, a tree can't grow in a day. It can't grow in 2, it can't grow in a week either. It'll take months, it'll take years eventually.
Why'd you feel that?
And there's nothing you or I, or that guru or that person can do about it. You see, greatness in your future, it takes time. And one of the greatest lessons I learned from a book that I read, and it was one of the best books I've ever read, Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, was that success is the very first chapter. And I'm so thankful I read this. Success is a process and a journey. It is not an event. When you go on Instagram and when you go on YouTube and when you look at all of these people that you look up to, right, it looks like it happened overnight. It looks like, when these people tell their story, in the blink of an eye, they went from broke, busted, disgusted, no friends, no great body, no fitness, nothing, to living the life of your dreams and their dreams. But in reality, what they don't show you is that it took years, right? In reality, they don't show you the nights where they were crying. In the reality, they don't show you those days where they lost all of their money, right? Because why would you? It's not glamorous. It's not going to get clicks. It's not going to get views. And frankly, it's not going to help their reputation, right? I want you guys to realize that success is a process. And the fact that you know, and rather forget knowing, the fact that you have that desire, in my humble opinion, for the vast majority of people will be enough to get you to your goals. It can be no guarantee because there are no guarantees in this thing called life, but if you have that desire and you wake up and you're ambitious and you truly want more for yourself, I don't mean you like the idea of it, I mean you truly want it, right? It will come to you. And the one tip I can give everybody is don't put these things on a pedestal, right? Feel the gratitude of where you're at in your life and feel the gratitude for the life that's coming to you. But when you put something on a pedestal, picture it in real life. If I was to reach for, let's say a box, a treasure box, right? But it's so important to me that I put it on a pedestal. I put it higher and I put it above everything else in the room. Reaching it will also be further because it's on a pedestal. I see it as so much higher. You see, the goals and the future that you have for yourself. The very important thing is don't put on a pedestal. That doesn't mean you don't value it. That doesn't mean you don't see it as important. In fact, I'm not saying that you have to see it equally with everything else, but be careful not to overdo it. You see, in all reality, the most important is simply being grateful for where you're at and being grateful for knowing that you have that treasure box up there. And that's actually not that far, and that you can reach it and you will reach it. And that very soon you'll take 1, 2, and 3 steps and you'll reach for it, and it's not going to be that high. But in fact, it's going to be right there in front of you. And you're not going to need a key. But you're simply going to lift the box and the treasure will be there for you. Right? If you approach life and your goals and your dreams and aspirations with this kind of a mindset and attitude, things will flow and naturally come to you. Right? So if you're watching this video, right, I'm sure you've seen videos like this before and it might sound cliche, but the fact that you're watching this video, right, and you know for a fact you want better for yourself, I can tell you right now, you've already made it. The future version of you that's successful that you see in your head every day exists, right? You simply just got to catch up to them. I hope this is a bit of a mindset shift for a lot of you guys, right? And if it is, amazing. I'm happy to hear it. If it's not, good. You already know this. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Trust the process because things will come and things will magically, spontaneously, happen, and you'll never be able to predict it because no one can predict it. Right? This is a different kind of tone to my videos for sure. I'm usually far more energetic and hype and everything. But I just want to have a little bit more of a heart-to-heart with you guys and something that's been on my mind and something I wish I knew when I was younger. But I think deep down I always knew it. Right? Deep down 2 years ago, I knew I'd always get to the place where I am now. And the place that I'm in now, I know that I'm going to get to the place where I see myself in a couple of years. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope that I provided at least the smallest, teeniest bit of value. I can't wait to see you on my next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, everybody.